Hello and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Brienne. I'm a high school math teacher, and it has been a very long time since I've last uploaded a video. Now, on the one hand, I haven't uploaded new videos because I just simply do not have time to record videos like I used to, mainly because my priorities have shifted and now my family is my top priority, and this has fallen way down on the list. But aside from that, I just felt like I don't really have much to share anymore because I've been teaching for so long. There's not a whole lot that I'm doing that's new or different, but that did prompt me to think about what have I done, what have I changed, what is new for this year. And so I figured it'd be nice to do a little like updates video. So our first update, this one's time sensitive. This is just for math teachers, but next week starts the Summer Math Summit, and this is free online PD for math teachers. It's like a two-tiered event. So there's a free version of the event where you get to watch the videos. They're up through the weekend and you can just watch at your own pace. But then there's also like the next tier up if you pay a little bit, and there's early bird costs. So I don't want to say what the amount is right here on the video because depending on when you see it, it might change the cost. But if you pay for it, then you do get access to the videos for an extended period of time, plus bonuses from all of the creators and whatnot. So I did a video on interactive notebooks, and the challenging part was that my session had to be 25 minutes long, and I think I hit at exactly 25 minutes because I like everything to be like really short, sweet, and to the point. So it's like, how am I gonna talk about something for 25 minutes, even something that I love as much as interactive notebooks? And the solution was, I talk about everything that I know and have learned about interactive notebooks in the last 12 years is in this video. So it's kind of like taking all the videos I've done about interactive notebooks on my channel, rounding them up into one video, and then there it is. So if that's something that you're interested in, I'll have the link to sign up in the description box below. So I'm going to start with some of my new purchases from this year. I didn't go crazy and buy a lot, but I did buy a couple of things that made a big difference this school year. So the first one, I'm going to pop up a picture on the screen because I can't actually film it, but I purchased a new standing desk, and I purchased it myself. So I have a standing desk in my classroom on wheels that I really liked. I loved it until I got this one. This one I like way more. So what prompted this purchase was I had to teach a class in a different classroom. So one of my classes I had to leave my classroom and travel to a colleague's classroom and teach from there. And she was extremely accommodating. She said, whatever you need, you know, as far as like space, she's like, you know, I have plenty of space and it's fine. So I asked if I could bring in my own standing desk because after the pandemic, once I started teaching from my iPad, I couldn't stop. It's so much easier and more convenient than teaching directly on the smart board, like turning my back to write. And it was not since we got the new ones. We got fancy new smart boards where they're not constantly needing to be oriented, but even with it being oriented, my handwriting doesn't show up the best. The iPad just makes it way better to teach with. So I like to plug my iPad in, but then I kind of have to stand there and hold the iPad unless I have something to lean on. So that's where the standing desks come in. So she agreed to let me bring a standing desk into her classroom. And this particular standing desk I like a lot more than the one that I already had in my classroom. So we do our orders for the following school year in the middle of the year. So in January, I had to make a list of everything that I needed to order for this upcoming school year in September. And by the time I found out that I'd be traveling to another colleague's classroom and would need a standing desk, it was too late to order it. So I purchased this myself from Amazon. At the time, it was not as much money as it is now. So if you're interested in it, I'm going to have it linked below, but watch the price. And if you choose a different color, for some reason, it's a different price. So just keep that in mind. It was not, like right now on Amazon, it says it's like $96. It was not $96 when I purchased it. I keep going on a tangent, I'm sorry. So around January this past year, my colleague was saying, I really like the standing desk that you brought in here. I want to have one to keep. Can you give me the link to purchase it so that she could order it? through our school because we can order through Amazon, which I did not know until this year. And I said, you can keep it, like just as a thank you for, you know, being so accommodating with using your classroom. And then a week or so later, I was like, you know, I really like this one more than the one in my classroom and I want it for myself. I was able to order it through Amazon for next year. So I actually should be getting that soon. I'm excited. So this standing desk I like better because it's not as big. It's easier to put the desk in front of me and have like space for my students to go around, because the standing desk I have now, it's kind of long, and when I do turn it so that I'm facing my students, they can't get past where I'm standing. So that's a little annoying. And I also just like that it's like hydraulic, like it just goes up and down nice and easy, versus the other one that I have, and I'll put a picture here if I can. The other one that I have, it's like 2 tiers and you have to set them individually, and I like to have them both level, and it's hard to get that, and then you're just twisting the knob and it kind of pokes into the thing and it doesn't always stay where you want it. It just kind of travels up and down. So I'm excited for the new standing desk, and I think I might hold on to the old one but put it toward the back of my classroom, and that way it would be like an option for students to use or for my co-teacher to use. That was a way longer explanation about a standing desk than I anticipated, but thanks for sticking with me through that. Another purchase that I loved was these envelopes. So it's just a plastic envelope. It's got a little Velcro closure, a little spot where you can label, but I bought these to organize my bulletin board sets. I have a nice big bulletin board in my classroom, and every unit of geometry I like to swap out what's on it. So I have like sets of vocabulary cards from a word wall and bulletin board sets, and just having it organized by unit in this is so much better than the accordion file holder that I had. And the accordion file holder is actually really great and I loved it. It's just, it was too much stuff to hold in it, and over time it just kind of started falling apart. So each unit just has its own little envelope, and that's just an easier way to organize and hold them. So I highly recommend these, and again, I'll link these down below as well. Oh, and a PS. The bulletin board sets, that's the next thing I'm updating in my TPT store, so stay tuned for that. All right, there's only 2 more purchases to go through. They are both pencil related, so this is gonna be hard to see, but this little thing right here, I'm obsessed with this. So it's magnetic. Now these magnets do fall off, but luckily it sticks to this thing because it's metal anyway, so if it does fall off, it's not a big deal. But this is like a little spring, but it's a ring, and the pencil just goes right into it and it sticks right up on my whiteboard. I think I'm gonna make a separate video, but my pencil system this year was the absolute best I've ever had in years. So I do have it sticking up on my whiteboard, magnetic, and it's kind of similar to what you've seen other teachers do with the bulldog clips. So they'll have the clips and the pencils sit sideways, and I could have put this sideways if I wanted to. I just had them all vertical. The thing with the clips though is that it takes 2 hands. Like with one hand the students have to clip, and in the other hand they have to take the pencil and put it back or take it out, and it's a pain. But this is a one-handed operation. Like of course these are gonna be all like cockeyed after students have used them throughout the period, but they can do it on their way in, on their way out, nice and easy. So these have been fantastic. Now the other purchase I had this year, and this was a bit of a splurge, was this pencil sharpener. So this brand, it's AFMAT, so I would assume it's pronounced AFMAT. By far the best pencil sharpeners ever. So I had like a standard pencil sharpener by this brand last year, and the problem that I had was that I was teaching 7th grade, and so they would stick the pencil into the pencil sharpener but then hold it in there way past the point where you can hear that it's no longer sharpening or that it's done sharpening and needs to be taken out. They would hold it in there so that their pencil would just sharpen down to nothing. So what this one does instead is you put the pencil in, it pulls the pencil down, sharpens it, and then pushes it back up when it's done. It looks like a little robot guy, which is kind of cute. I do have the cord on it now, but it's just like a USB cord. It's rechargeable basically, so I leave it out. I charge it once a month, and this thing has worked really well. And then you just twist off the top and that's how you would empty it out. So highly recommend. Best pencil sharpener I've ever had. You can adjust the point on this, but look how sharp. Fantastic. Best investment I ever made. It is definitely on the pricier side, but totally worth it. Like I said, not much is new. I feel like those are the main updates. So in addition to me traveling for one class this year, I did go through and update my interactive notebook. So I went and basically took what I had, but updated the overall look, made it a little bit nicer, and made it so that now it's all in editable files. So that way, because I put my original interactive notebook up on TPT, I made it so that now it's all editable in a PowerPoint file. So if teachers purchase, they could do whatever changes that they want to make, which was by far the most common feedback that I had on it was I wish I could, you know, make some tweaks on this so it would fit my students' needs better, and now it does. But that was like a year-long project. I was really working on that through April. So it feels good to have that done. But now the next things, were the cheat sheets. I did go and update those. They're also editable, but I love how they turned out. They look, I think they look even better than they did before. But I'm also trying to streamline and simplify some things. So I bulked up the cheat sheets original product because we went, you know, digital for distance learning and everything. And so I added some stuff. I ended up taking it out because it just felt kind of like bulky and unnecessary at that point. So the next thing I said I would be updating are the bulletin boards for geometry, and I have like two separate products. I have geometry posters and then geometry bulletin boards. I'm going to end up combining them and streamlining them because there's so much overlap where it's like you either buy one or the other and you're kind of like missing stuff if you buy one instead of the other. So I'm basically going to combine it so that it's all going to be one thing. And I'm just redoing all the posters for it because it's like they were made by a different person at this point. So much time has passed, but it's been like 6 years. So it kind of is a long time, kind of not. My last update was a tool that I use for parent communication. I think maybe I'm going to do more of a separate video for this, just kind of showing it, because I was thinking this might be something to put on TPT for other teachers to use later. But what I did last year, and I did not keep up with it, was I have a website and it's just a lot to update. And what do I really need to update it with aside from like what's happening in class all the time? So I made a Google slide that had a layout for the week, Monday through Friday, and in the box underneath each day I would just write in what we're doing. And it just got to be too much trying to update like the full week every week, and then, you know, things change a lot, so it wasn't something that was easy to keep up with. So I kept the overall idea but changed it. Instead of being a weekly layout, I changed it to a monthly layout. So now it looks more like a calendar, and this worked so much better. So now if a parent or student goes to my website and they click on the course that they're taking, this is what's going to pop up, and it's a Google slide. They're getting it in present mode, so they're not getting like, they're not having access to edit it or anything like that. They're just viewing it, but it just shows the month, and there's a layout of what's happening. And I would just go in at the end of each week as I was lesson planning and update it for the following week. And it was just a lot easier to keep up with the changes, but then I'm still able to communicate that there's tests and quizzes coming up, or that we have assignments due through there. In addition to whatever else was going on in my school, whether we had like a assembly happening or just closures or anything else like that. So I really love this as a tool for communicating with parents. I'm not sure how much they used it, but for me, it was just good to have that peace of mind that like I am putting something out there to communicate with parents, and it's linked in all of my emails to them, and it's linked on my website, so they have access to it. It's just, you know, I don't know whether or not they are accessing it, but they did have access. So that was nice, just to have like that peace of mind that like I'm doing, you know, what I can without bombarding them with constant emails. Also, what I like to do is send out an email the week of every test, so I can say there's a test coming up, here's what we've done to prepare, and just a reminder that all of our notes, videos for the lessons, everything's in Google Classroom. And it was just a great way to communicate with parents because it's proactive. I was always able to say, you know, if you have any questions or concerns, please feel free to respond to me anytime. I just thought of one more update. It's not exactly a teaching update, it's more of a channel update. If you've been with me since the beginning, I started out by doing weekly vlogs. I took those videos down. I don't know, it's been 7 years, and at this point, I don't really remember every little thing that I said, and I know that I was so careful about everything that I shared, but I was just like, I'm not sure what this vlog was about just from the title. So I just ended up taking those all down just because it feels better to not have them up there. Plus, I did a lot of filming from my classroom, and I know that I was always careful not to show anything in the background, but I just feel better not having videos from my classroom on the channel. I think there's only one, but it's just so like focused on this one particular topic that I feel okay with that one. But like, I had vlogs of setting up my classroom, a classroom tour. I took those down because I just don't want to have like my classroom layout up on the internet, and it's changed since then anyway, but this just feels better for me, so that's what I did. Okay, so I think that's everything. Sorry I'm rambly. I haven't sat down in front of a camera to do this in so long, but I hope that this video was helpful or at least enjoyable, and if you have any questions, please leave them in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching.